Hey guys, it's Mario. What's up? Peace. I'm just a little bit of. Oh, look at that. There's a giant stain on the keyboard. Hi, we fixed that. Didn't notice it for last video. Sorry, guys. But we're back with another Learning with Mario, and that is where I'm your school teacher and you're my bitches, and I love you for it. So today we're watching Duck, Duck Goose, and with Duck and our member Goose. Zerg player Goose, we are going to watch a Terran against Zerg, and it's 50 minutes long, so I apologize if I seem a little rushing a little bit, because it is 50 minutes, and frankly, my time is important. So in this specific game, you're a diamond player. We saw that through the loading screen, or at least I saw that through the loading screen, and your SUV was a little late. It was about 30 seconds late, and you had a little problem with your SUVs. So what I recommend doing is during the loading screen is just hold down S. Do you see all this going crazy? Just hold down S. I'm holding it down, and then you hit left click the moment you see your command center while holding S, and it will make your first Marine instantly. It's like a split second. You usually start like it's the fastest you can possibly make a Marine. It's you can save 2 seconds. Even when I do it, I can save a second or 2 seconds on my first Marine, and it is huge because it's 5 minutes you get back faster. That's a supply depot you can build back faster. That means another SUV which isn't supply blocked faster, which means you're getting more of an income, and it's just something you can do, and it's better than not having it for 30 seconds. So we're gonna speed up just a little bit because, we love you, but we've all got things to masturbate to. I mean things to do. 10 supply depot against a Zerg, I recommend walling off. The only times I don't do it is when I forget. Or if I'm going mass Reaper Hellion, because I kind of want them to look at it and go, oh, I didn't wall off. I'm just gonna make Zerglings, and then I try to metagame them. But if I see Regis, I quickly build a bunker and a wall because it's necessary. So, wall off. Very important. I wonder when you're going to take your gas. You are walling off over here with a barracks. It's very nice because you can still get a supply depot in this location. If some of you were wondering, I know the season is about to end, but we still got a few more days. This is the proper way to wall off. Barracks on the side, supply depot by the rocks. I do not see a gas yet, which makes me believe that this is going to be a 1 Rex expand. I do personally like the 1 Rex expands. I have been a fan of them for quite some time. Sometimes I will get my 3rd command center before my gas geysers, but usually you want them, before the 3rd command center at the very least, because then you can make factories. But in this case, this is a very greedy play. I can see why this replay is very long. You awesome person, you. Taking a page out of Mario's book. Ooh, Zergling seeing everything. This is actually huge because this allows the Zerg to do nothing but drone. And he knows that you can't fuck with him. I do not like the second bunker. I don't really like lifting the wall off. I feel like you should have just made it in this location. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst thing, but this bunker, I definitely don't like the position of it. I feel like you'd want it a little bit more back, like over here in this location. You're expecting a bailing rush, but there's nothing that suggests it, so you overmake supply depots in anticipation of it. Which you might be being just careful, but you do overmake supply depots. You have a lot of money. You got to get those gas geysers right away, double upgrades, which you seem to be doing. Another 2 command sensors. This looks a lot like a build I did on my stream. I think like a month ago, right? And it's insanely greedy, and the point of it is that you get a really fast 3 command center, you pump out a shit ton of minerals, you get the gas geysers as quick as you can, try to tech the siege tanks and marines, get this real fast with the gas geysers, and you're just gonna have so many minerals that you are able to go like a lot of siege tanks, and then just instead of moving out to attack, because you won't have Thors, but instead of moving out to attack, you make a bunch of missile turrets with your excess minerals, and that helps in the late game against mass mutalisks. And it's like a super greedy, super turtle style. It's like saying, if you don't kill me in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to have a huge lead defensive wise in the mid game. The second bunker was nice. The install, look at this. This guy has a giant member. Whoa. Fucking cut. I mean, You could have moved the barracks up, built another supply depot. I do not like that you're only on one factory. You should be on definitely more. They should be pretty much done by now. You want to start them slightly after your third and fourth gas geysers, or at the very minimum, right after you start the upgrades. Like these are 89 seconds, and this is 38 seconds. So the cap definitely could have been sooner. It's very important if you're playing this greedy because you have to be able to make those siege tanks right away. Because at the moment they sniff this out, they can either go super greedy or they can go super aggressive, and you're very weak in the early game because of this. You should be moving one of these command centers out to here. In this situation, I do like to make my third a planetary, just since you have so many orbitals, and it looks like this is something you're doing. You're definitely well researched into styles that I would enjoy. I don't know if it's in my style, but it's nice. I don't like the missile turrets this far spread apart. I like them a little bit more clumped, so it's harder for Mulus to pick them off. I like the one in your mineral line. I think this one is fine. This one I think needs to be like right here, and this one I think needs to be like right here or right here. So it still protects the gas geyser, but then if the attack's over here, then 3 missile turrets are attacking, or 2 missile turrets are defending one other, so you have 3 total attacking. Over here would just be this one, and over here would just be this one. So if you move these like one right here, and then one right here, and then this one right here, then if they went for these two, then they're defending themselves. But if you went for this one, then this one's defending, and then if you went for this one, then these two are defending, and then maybe even this one if he tries to fly in and kill another one. So you want them covering each other. I do not like this missile turret or this missile turret. I do not like this missile turret or this missile turret. They need to be closer together. This missile turret I'm not a really big fan of. If you're gonna put it here, I would rather have you protect the majority of the mineral line and the 2 armories, so either in this location or in this location, but this one is kind of preferred. I do like the missile turret here, and I feel like you need another one here and here, or sorry, let me rephrase that. That's actually bad position. So I like the one here. You want one kind of by the gas, and then one slightly above, so they're relatively close to each other. But that's only if you're not getting Thors. If you are getting Thors, at least 2 missile turrets, so maybe one in just this location, but then the gas is weak, so you could do this location as well. Like this one protects the army more, this one protects the gas more, both equally valuable. But yes, lots of siege tanks down here. Let's slow this down a little bit. Lots and lots of siege tanks. You scan, see if he has a 4th base. Pretty good. Hellions haven't been very active this game. I feel like you want to work a little bit more on your multitasking. As far as defense goes, though, it's just a faster transitioning, and otherwise you're in a pretty good spot. Better missile turret positioning and faster transitioning. This is a pretty good strategy. 14 minutes under 30, nothing to be ashamed of. 14 minutes though with no harassment. I would prefer if you were closer to a max out. I'm thinking 160, 170. Try to hit for those benchmarks with this type of greedy play, and then getting close to forcing an attack or being an aggressive player and trying to get a 4th, like getting this 4th base or this 4th base, it will be pretty nice. Lots of missile turrets. I do like this. You don't, however, have the upgrade. If you're going for lots of missile turrets, getting the armor upgrade is fantastically huge. It's huge. It's really huge because it reduces the missile glaive bounce by a lot, and it greatly increases the number of mutalisks they need. However, eventually mutalisks will just be able to overpower any army, but it will take more damage because it takes them longer, and it will require more mutalisks, meaning you need less defense there. I mean, these are still a little bit far out. I would like them to be a little closer to here and here, but they're you've got 4 of them grouped together. It's not that bad. I don't like the supply depots at the natural. If anywhere, maybe put them here or behind the minerals. But keep a little bit more space open for the missile turrets, just in case it gets like massive muta and you need to quickly make sure that you're not weak from this side or this side while you have this base or this base. You just kind of protect yourself a little bit more. You do have quite an amount of SCVs. Once you're getting close to max out, you should sacrifice at least 1 mineral line. The bare minimum, or you want to sacrifice, is 1 mineral line, so you have 2 at the most mining. If you're on 4 bases, you can, and a lot of orbitals, you can kind of go down to 1 full mining and then the rest mules, and play a little defensive until you have a slight bank, and then try to engage in some kind of skirmish, or if you can win a big fight, go ahead and go in a big fight. The upgrades are coming along nicely. I think Blue Flame, it's not exactly necessary, but you have the resources. You're also supply blocked, which is silly that you're making supply depots because you have a lot of capabilities to call down supply, and being supply blocked at this stage is far more important than a few minerals or a few scans. I mean, you kind of see swarm hosts are coming over here. This is important, seeing the swarm hosts, which means you should be sticking the majority of your time to making nothing but siege tanks and Vikings if you can so help it. Some Hellions for a mineral dump is definitely nice too off of those reactor factories, because the Hellions, not the Hellbat, the Hellbat has to get too close. Too many Locusts will be able to attack you. The Hellion is far better. You also see a very few amount of Locusts in this location, which means that he just has a few. So that gives you a large amount of map control. You're definitely able to move around the map to wherever the locusts aren't. So in this scenario, you're able to kind of go up here and pick a little fight over here and force the locusts in this direction, you know, kind of away from your base. But then you could also force a base race, so you have to be careful. You definitely have too many SCVs. 79 at this stage, I definitely think is too much, especially if you're fighting swarm hosts. One of the best way to fight swarm hosts is if you are actually expanding your army everlasting. You have a lot to make in a super death ball, so the fewest SCVs possible. You know, pretty much just one in each mineral line, so you're at least mining a little bit, and then just the gas geysers, you know, and then you can just get rid of all the other SCVs that aren't building anything, or get rid of them after they're done building. And then just drop mules for your income, and just make this super army that can push across the map easier. You are giving him a lot of time to set up, which I'm not terribly concerned about, but you're not moving your air army to match his air army. You should keep some missile turrets here. I want to say like 3 or 4 missile turrets, and then keep a Thor here to kind of scare him away from just running in. This is a large amount of missile turrets. I don't think this is all quite necessary, especially not so far up, because he can just send a wave of locusts down, deal a lot of damage. I think the missile turrets will be better a little bit closer to home, but this is becoming less of a vantage point. I mean, you're going to want to defend this less, so maybe even some like right here along this line and along here, just to protect the factories, I think is the biggest thing. I think these are a little bit of a waste of money. Definitely a weak point. I do like the point defense drone. I do not like the auto turrets. You did leave some Thors there, which was good. He's taking a lot of damage. You know, once again, you need to get rid of some SCVs. You're up to 83 SCVs. That's far too many. Far too many. The Zerg has, you know, if you've got more workers than the Zerg player and you're kind of maxed out, then the Zerg is going to be able to hold off your army a lot better than he's supposed to be able to. You're taking a huge amount of damage because of your rally, which causes you to replace. Anything he gets from the Locust is going to delay your push a lot. And the longer he delays your push, the more tech he's able to get, the more upgrades, the more static defense, the better he can remax. So that's definitely a huge disadvantage. At this stage, you gotta fix your rally point, send in. This isn't that bad either, by the way. The point defense drones are moving a little bit up, but you gotta fix your rally point, send in some SCVs, keep just a few to repair, and you know, just get rid of like 30 supply, 40 supply even of army, and then or not army of SCVs, and then see, look, all these missile turrets are wasted. But 40 supply of SCVs, and then just put it all into siege tanks. You can get so many more siege tanks. Just imagine having like, what is that, 40 supply, 3 times 4, 27? You can have 27, wait, did I fuck that up? You can have like 27 siege tanks? Extra? Something like that. Just you know, a nice number. Two more barracks, lots more supply, lots more turrets. This is too many turrets. You're over committing to the defense. Over committing to the defense. I definitely feel you are, and that's a shame. You know, it's a lot of minerals wasted. The locusts are able to kill it. You need to have some SCVs and auto repair wherever the locusts are sending. You definitely could have
exhausted. Your forces are under attack.
Or idle SUVs, and that's 8 siege tanks. 8 siege tanks. On top of the 3, you could have 11 more siege tanks in this fight right now, and that would just make it so much easier. You're pushing also a little bit slow, but I can understand why you want to be cautious at lower leagues. You definitely want to, if you're gonna push slowly, at least unsiege a third of your army and keep them moving. Unsiege a third, siege them, but don't unsiege everything. I think that's very dangerous, unsieging everything. Definitely don't want to do that. I do like this. See, now in this section, it's bad because you're not really protecting any assets. There's not a lot to protect. What are you afraid that he's going to fly through here? But you got a lot of turrets there. That's not a big deal. This is like 2 command centers wasted. But over here, this is good because this is a vital base. 2 planetaries to help deter ground units, and then a lot of missile turrets to help deter the mutalisks. I do like that because this is a vital base. You need this base. It's worth the amount of stuff you're investing into it. Maybe pull back a little bit here and space these a little tighter together, but overall it's not that bad.
Upgrade.
Lots of production. I feel like you could have added a little bit more. Oh,
Your
there's
forces
so
are
many
under
siege.
attack.
There's so much supply to be wasted right now. You got a really good shot off on the Thor. He could have just done so much damage to these mutas, but you were using the all-2 command, I think. This still hasn't been repaired. Your push is going rather slow. You're giving him a lot of time to set up. A lot of time to set up. Actually, a huge amount of time to set up. And once again, you unsiege everything, which leaves you vulnerable. You want to be a little split up, because if he gets 2 blinding clouds on here, your entire ground force cannot attack. You'll be extremely weak to Locust besides your point defense tournaments, which means that you have to spend a large amount of energy that you do not want to spend on those point defense turns. Like, look at how much you needed over here. You didn't quite need all this. You actually dropped too many. You want to have like 1 or 2 at the push at the time so that you can drop a huge amount the moment he tries to commit. A huge amount. But you don't want too many for the actual push. You see that he's regenerating over here. You have a superior air fleet, at least from the looks of it. And then with all your Ravens, you could move up. You could definitely move up and fight his air army head on without too many casualties, just by Hunter Seekering a Viking, sending it into the right place, or even just point defense drones. You could definitely move up. I kind of like the turrets. He's pulling some of your Ravens, which you drop some point defense turrets, which is fine. The missile turrets aren't that bad of an idea, but once again, you're taking too long to push. So that's another thing, another flaw. A pretty big flaw is that you're taking too long to cross the map. You are actually giving him, I think that it was been like 10 minutes now of time for him to completely set up a counterattack if he so wishes, or to save up money for an instant remax if he so desired. You're definitely giving him a lot of time. You're always macro, 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 macro. Well, eventually you have to deliver the killing blow, and I feel like at this stage we've surpassed that. The killing blow should have been delivered. I think you could have won this game 10 minutes ago, let alone over the next 12. You're pushing a little faster now. I do like that. You know, so many turrets. These turrets, I don't think are necessary at all. Eventually, you're gonna mine out the map, and it's just gonna be swarm hosts. And these turrets are not gonna do anything. They are so bad for this game right now. These turrets I don't mind, but they need to be a little bit compact. But these turrets, I'm not feeling it. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. These auto turrets, I don't like them either. No, that's a lot of wasted energy and so many point defense rounds. You're pretty much saying I'm going camping and I want to AFK for a while, so I'm just gonna drop these guys and then just build back home. So I'm pretty much putting myself in a position that I don't want to be in for too long, you know, in a tight clumped up space. And because I'm gonna stay here a while in this bad position, I'm gonna expel extra energy so that it's more difficult to break this bad position while I go back home and spend money that shouldn't be spent on things. Like these two moves are horrifically um, contradicting to your end goal, and that is to just what it should be right now is to push into him. And you know, with this money, this could have all been factories. Like it's two factories, 200 minerals for a factory, right? I'm pretty sure 150 for a factory. So three missile turrets, one factory, one factory, one factory, one factory, almost another factory. You could have, you know, one, two, three, four, five, almost. So you have 50 minerals, whatever. Five factories. Um, Sitting right here for more Hellions. You definitely could have a lot more production and be a lot less concerned about a remax. You should at this stage have gotten these two upgrades. It is 39 minutes in. At least the Widowmine one. I really like the Widowmine one. If you make something that Widowmines are really good against, um, you know, just Widowmines are really nice. If you guys like Mass Muta, you can plant them all over the map. Overseers, I do like that you move some up here. But again, you could have so many more siege tanks, and these SCVs are stuck. You're making so many missile turrets. You could actually be, I think that if you pull back on the missile turrets right now, you could be so much farther ahead in your mineral count. Just so many missile turrets, so many missile turrets. So many, so many, so many, so many, so many, so many, so many missile turrets. Too many missile turrets. You're making too many missile turrets. And you're not splitting your army up enough. So from this stage on, the only thing really relevant thing is kind of what happens to this army. So we're going to speed forward a little bit. Gonna see, alright, what's going on with the army. Send your Thors up to attack. Pretty good. I'm feeling it. Pull back. You should be repairing with some of the SUVs that are over here. Or one of them is. The others aren't quite. Should be a little bit more ballsy with your Ravens, I feel. Just a little bit. Once again, the whole unsiege, I just really don't like that. Oh, you're sacrificing SUVs! Yeah, I think that's the first time I saw that this whole game. That's good. That is good, that is good. And you're replacing them with Vikings, though. I don't like that at all. I really don't. I feel like you should be putting more emphasis on siege tanks. Like, the Vikings aren't that bad, but if you throw in another Thor or two and the rest of siege tanks, I think you're definitely in a much better position. Because what if he goes, you know, Broodlords? Well, then he's got less anti-air, and then your Vikings and Ravens are already really strong. So you can just kind of keep him back. And then your siege tanks can really push forward because he's not going to have as many locusts. So you don't need that many to fight Broodlords. Not in this situation. Not if he's got so much supply. See, I would have Hunter Seekered some of them there. But not if he's got so much supply in Swarm Host, then he can't really make a viable Broodlord transition. So it's not something you should really be worried about. Kind of pushing up. This is still a very, very slow push. A lot of energy wasted. Very slow. He's using a lot of grips. Not that great, but you were eventually able to choke them out. He wasn't sure how to engage your army, so that's not bad. But you push like a turtle, and you defend like a turtle, and you really like turtles. I don't know why your name is Duck, because just the name Turtle would be super good for you, but overall, I mean, you had a lot of your bases covered. You weren't going to die to a counterattack. I'll definitely give you that. Those can be scary, but I think the biggest thing you need to worry on is bolstering your army and using them more better in aggressive positioning. better, just better, using your army better. I would definitely say your army movement. Yeah. But that's all for this one, guys. Thanks for learning with Mario, and follow me on Twitter because why? You love me. You're my bitches. We've all established this. Mark Woof Woof. I love you. Bye, guys. Peace. More coming up another time.